Difficult moment, yeah. They're on a bad run at the moment, terrible run at the moment, in fact, Tim. What does Slot have to do? Style of play is not working right now. Should he go back to basics? But what is back to basics for Slot and Liverpool? What can he do to change something?
Well, back to basics is going back to the team run away with the league last season. But he's tried that a few times and that hasn't worked. He's got to try and integrate new players. It's been difficult for him. He's lost important players. Trent Alexander-Arnold, I think we underestimated how good he was. Everyone was always questioning what he can't do and how poor he was defensively. But with the ball, he was one of the best passers in the Premier League and one of the best passers we've ever seen in the Premier League. So I think they lack. I think what Trent also give you is, you asked Mo Salah, who was the most valuable player for him, and it was him. You give him fuel. They work so well in tandem with each other. So the midfield hasn't really worked. Szoboszlai, for me, has been good. I think he's got a lot of energy. He's played him at fullback at the weekend, so he's getting him out of them areas. He's just got to believe, and he's just got to keep... It's hard but as a manager, but he's just got to keep the spirits high as possible. You can't write off the Premier League, but they're not stupid now. I've tried to keep a lifeline open for them for as long as I possibly could, but now's the time. They cannot win the league from here. It's going to be impossible. It's impossible, I think, with Arsenal running away like they are at the moment and Man City still playing very, very well. I don't think the turnaround can be that drastic. They're out of it. So they've just got to concentrate on Champions League. Of course, they've got a big enough squad to win games in the Premier League, so they haven't got to put all their eggs in the Champions League basket, but they're out of the Carabao Cup. FA Cup will come around in January. I think their sights have to be lifting a trophy, but it's not going to be the Premier League, unfortunately, for them.
Yeah, 11 points behind after 12 games. We're going to be talking a lot about Liverpool, by the way, at 11 o'clock. We'll be joined by two Liverpool fans as well as Tim. You've won the Premier League as a player. How difficult is it the next season when you've had that euphoria of winning the title to go again?
A little bit different for us, Tom, because we had an owner in Jack Walker and he piled his money into the club for one reason, which was his dream to win the Premier League. And we managed to get there. Once we got there, we had a change of manager. Kenny Dalglish moved upstairs, Ray Hartford took over. A lot of players were leaving rather than new players coming in. So we never really had the foundation. It was almost like, we've managed to achieve it. Did we believe we can really crack on and do it again? I think when we lost Kenny upstairs, I think it was a blow to everyone. But it was almost like everyone ran out of energy. It's a bit different for Liverpool because they've gone again in the transfer market. They won it. Everyone felt with the signings what they made in the summer that they would just go on and dominate for years to come, and it'd be very difficult for anyone else to get anywhere near them. It's not materialised like that. I think this is their transition year. I think Slot done very well last season by doing nothing with a Jurgen Klopp side. He almost done nothing. He just kept them going. He got Mo Salah happy again, smiling. It was absolutely magnificent. He got Virgil van Dijk, who's a very influential player for them, to sign a new contract. Couldn't persuade Trent to sign a new contract, but everyone in the camp was happy. But they lost players. I think we can't underestimate the effect of Jota on that group of players as well. The loss of him, tragedy, and they're feeling all different parts of it. I think is playing a part in the demise of Liverpool at the moment. There is a way back, but not this season in the Premier League. But it's still a magnificent club, a well-run club. I believe he's a fantastic manager. I still believe in him. But for the Premier League, it's all about next year now. And they just have to concentrate on winning one of the cups they're in still.
Just quickly, the next three league games: West Ham away, Sunderland at home, Leeds away. Do you expect 9 points? I think fans will.
Yeah, I expected them to beat Nottingham Forest at Anfield as well. So, I mean, the Premier League's tough. It's tough to win games, and you have to be on it. Even when you're the champions, you have to be on it. Otherwise, someone will come in and take advantage of you. So, yes, I expect 9 points, but is it going to be good enough? I would suggest they need to win the next 15 with maximum points to be anywhere near the title race. So 3 games will help. It will give the confidence what they need. But it's not going to be enough time. They're too far adrift. We said before there, I think the Tottenham fan said it, and I've said it many, many times. You can't win the league now, but you can lose it, and they've lost it.
Well, Liverpool's title challenge is looking over, OK? But get involved in our poll on X this morning. The question we're asking is, where will Liverpool finish in the Premier League? The options are, you've got champions, top 4, top half, and bottom. They are currently bottom half, by the way, and you can see just top half is winning the poll at the moment with 45%, but 36% still think top 4. More people think bottom half than champions. Only 5% still believe that they can do it. So, OK, looking over... well, in fact, in terms of that, though, Tim, did that look about right to you? I mean, it's top half still just a little bit low. Do you still think top 4?
Top 4 for me. I still think they've got the ability to put a run together once these players get used to playing for Arne Slot and in the Premier League. Wirtz, I still believe he's going to be a good signing. I think Isak needs to get back to fitness and start getting some confidence there. Ekitike, I think, has been good for him. Frimpong needs to get himself fit and playing. And Kirkez, who we thought would go in and hit the floor running, it hasn't materialised. But I think once they settle them down, got Alisson back now, which is a big plus for him. It wasn't at the weekend, but I think overall it will be. I think top 4 is... and it's got to be a must. You cannot... I mean, it's very difficult to be in the Champions League after being the champions of the Premier League and then to fall out of that entirely, you know, and to play Europa League next year. It's unthinkable for me as a Liverpool fan would think that is just not possible.
Sky Sports have partnered with Finalysis, an app where passionate fans share their opinions on their club. If you want to represent your club, scan the QR code here or visit the Sky Sports app for more details. We can speak to 2 Liverpool fans now with opposing views on Slot, John Gibbons and Sarah Luca. Right, John, I know that you're very much backing your manager. Sarah, I'm told that you're not so sure. Why are you not so sure?
So, yeah, it is doubts. It's kind of 50-50, but also worried. I'm worried about mentality. I'm worried about the body language. I'm worried about Alisson, after the 3rd goal going in, saying mindset and shouting at the players. I'm worried that in Slot we might not have what we massively had in Klopp, where he had one mission, one vision, and he engaged the players behind that, and they knew what they were doing. The lack of solution is what I'm worried about.
John, so far this season for Liverpool in the league, it hasn't worked, OK, but we are still early enough. Why do you trust Slot to turn it around?
I think there's so much happened at the club over the last sort of 6 months that I think it's hard to pin it on one thing. You know, there was a complete squad overhaul that he was obviously involved with, but the people who will be deciding who the manager is were involved in it as well. That the squads ended up looking a bit sort of lopsided, and he's trying to make that work. And they look like a little bit like the heart's been ripped out of the team, but how much of that is what happened to the friend in the summer? And so I think it's a really tough thing to analyse. Look, normally as football fans, you just kind of look at it and think, oh, we need a new manager, we need a new this. And at the moment, it's just so hard. And so I just won't be making any rash decisions at the moment. I understand where Sarah's at, because you're watching it and it's really tough as a fan to see your teams not compete. And that's what Sarah's talking about there, really. It's not, quality. It's not the idea of, people not being good enough. They're just not competing well enough. But trying to put your finger on why that is at the moment is really hard. And so I think we've got to pull together. I think we've got to back the manager who won the league last season and he's done incredibly well, and just try and get it through it together, really, and show a little bit more of that spirit that Liverpool is famous for, and come through it together.
Guys, and I want to be trying harder than Arne Slot to put this right. I guarantee you that. He won't know. You talk about it there, John, trying to put your finger on it. He will be trying to put his finger on it every single minute of every day. He will take it home. When you're a manager, you don't just go training, go home, forget about football. When you're in the match day, his whole weekend would have been ruined, as yours is when you don't get a result. But he will be trying harder than anyone to try and put his finger on it. He's got the tools to work with. You've got the players. They've done it before. You've got new players you need to integrate. I don't think it's time for the panic. You will not win the league this season. That is not going to happen because Arsenal are so strong and Man City are stronger than you at the moment. But I think you can win a trophy. I just think there's a cloud come over Liverpool. No one thought it would be, this season. Everyone, when you made them signings, saw you might as well just give them the trophy now. They're going to dominate for years to come. It's a blip. it's more than a blip. It's not panic. It's not a crisis. It's not a crisis. No one, you know how difficult it is to win back-to-back titles. History tells you that. It's very, very difficult. They will come back. They will come back with this manager as well, I believe it. You just need to have faith, guys.
Yeah, I think it's...
I think just to that point about the summer and everyone was like, oh, we might as well just give up. Liverpool's got it. I think that's the biggest problem. The fact that we won the league under Slot in his first season, that is when we thought the blip was going to come. You know, we all left Klopp. When he left, we were like, oh my God, we're going to end up like Man United. Yeah. And it's going to be a turnaround time. We won the league. We played some incredible football. And we were like, oh, hang on here. And now they've splashed the cash. We're going to win everything. Like, I was drinking the Kool-Aid over the summer. But now when our back's against the wall, we were always a team that would fight. And I don't see the fight in the players that have been there during Klopp's era. And that is my biggest worry. So I think Slot is great on the tactics. He's great on one-to-one coaching. But has he brought a vision and an ethos into that club that they can all buy in? So that even when their bodies are aching and they're going to put in that hard yarn, they're gonna do it for each other. There's loads of individuals on that pitch right now. They're not playing together, which is why the integration of the new has been so bad too.
John, I know that you are behind Slot, and I think the Liverpool fans that we hear from on this show tend to be behind Arne Slot. But you've got to think of it from the board's point of view. He was given a lot of money to spend. I know you made some as well, and that will add extra pressure. Liverpool spent that money to stay at the top. Now they're not even in the top half. So whether the fans think there's pressure on him or not, from the board, you'd imagine there is, because Slot's been given what he wants. He's been given the tools.
Yeah, I think that is fair. Listen, there's pressure to be a Liverpool manager anyway, and when you spend all that money, there's even more pressure. But it's a collective now. It's not the case, like in the past where a manager says, "Oh, buy whoever you want and go out and do there." He's got a sporting director ahead of them. There's Michael Edwards sort of above Richard Hughes as well, and they've all put that squad together collectively. And so I think there needs to be responsibility, across the board really on, well, have they bought the right players? Have they bought players with this, this desire that you sort of want from Liverpool? And even if they are really good players, which I think they'll still show they are, is the balance of the team correct? We didn't get a centre half over the line. Whose sort of responsibility is that? Did we replace Luis Diaz? With everything that he brought? And so I don't think it's quite as straightforward as saying, well, you've spent all this money, so it's all kind of on you, really. I don't think that's how they'll see it within the club. I think they'll see it as a collective responsibility to kind of sort this out. But like Sarah says, they could start but by just showing a bit more fight on the pitch. And I think, while you're not playing well, while it's taken a while to gel, I think supporters will forgive a little bit if you can see them, putting everything in. I went to the game on Saturday, and after the game, I went to the pub to do our post-match stuff, and I'm watching Man City v Newcastle, and you've got players throwing themselves in front of the ball on both sides, getting these big blocks in, and you're thinking, I can't remember seeing a Liverpool player do that all season. It's no wonder we're conceding so many goals and so many soft ones. Is that desire to put your body on the line, if you like, just isn't there. We've got players looking at 50-50s.
How does Slot do that then? How does Slot get that? Because Sarah talked about mentality. That's mentality, isn't it? Getting that into the players' minds to do that block, to put their bodies on the line. Is it up to him? Is it up to the players?
I think a little bit of both. There's players who are willing to do that. He's just not picking them at the moment, and so can he, take out some of the more naturally gifted footballers and bring in some guys who are going to sort of show that fight. Do you know what? I'm hoping that Saturday is a bit of a wake-up call, to be honest with you, because I think until this point it's been, we've had a tough run of fixtures and we've had some injuries and gel. There's no excuses for getting beat 3-0 at home to Nottingham Forest. They're a decent side, but they were 19th coming in. So I'm hoping, Virgil spoke brilliantly after the game, but then he said, look, this is also just talk. You can't talk your way out of it. And so I'm hoping Saturday is a realisation that this is such a tough league. You can't just turn up and think, it's Forest at home, we're going to win. And I felt like they did a little bit there. You've got to win the right to play. And so I'm hoping I'm hoping Saturday is just a jolt for everyone, for the players, for the manager, and for the supporters a little bit as well, that we are in a bit of a fight and we need to show a bit more to get out of it.
Sarah, you nodded when John said that some players who do have that mentality and would put their body on the line just aren't getting picked at the moment. Which players could come in and do that picked at the moment just to change something?
Well, it's also some of the players that are being picked. So McAllister used to be that kind of player first in that midfield. So, you know, the pivot with him and Gavin Birch really worked that season. But McAllister has not been on it at all this season. Like, you know, we talk about Mo Salah, like McAllister has been very, very poor. So he's not that kind of putting his body in the line, getting those crunching tackles in. Obviously, we've got Andy, but there must be something, you know, wrong with his fitness. We know this because, you know, he had an incredible game, in part for Scotland, an incredible result, and then wasn't picked. Was that more his body, or is it what he was talking about with Jota? There's a lot of emotion in that squad that clearly is not getting out, and this is where Klopp would have been the arm around the shoulder type manager and got that from them, right? And got them the help. Is Slot doing that, or is somebody else in the backroom staff doing that? And then you've got Connor Wood, obviously, but he's learning quickly, so he's the kind of put the body in the line, and also Van Dijk needs to be that person. When the back four is as chaotic as it is right now, Van Dijk might need to change his game up a bit here, and truly be a leader on that pitch, because he's one of the first to let his head go down when a goal goes in, and then the rest of the team tends to follow that.
Would you take Klopp back right now if you're offered it, Sarah?
No, I don't. I don't think he would be the solution going backwards. I think Slot has it, but also he's very early on in his career, and nobody really talks about that. So he's learning, fast. And making mistakes, but it's whether he's allowed to make any more. I mean, what will the club do if we lose midweek in the Champions League? Because at the moment, that's been our saving grace right now. But if the team doesn't, pull a result out there, then we talk about crisis, and I know that's thrown around a lot, but a Liverpool squad shouldn't be losing these amount of matches in a row and 2-3 nils in a row.
If you could have one player back, guys, from recent history, for your moment, it's difficult at the moment. I know who I would have back in your squad. Who would you guys like to have back in recent history? One player, if I could give you, back in your squad for the moment what you're in now.
I know who you're going to say. I know it already. Let's see. Go on then, John, you go first.
I mean, it depends when you say recent history. Can I have Steven Gerrard back? He's my answer to everything.
No. He's an old man. He's older than me.
Is that the rule? They've got to still be playing. They've got to still be playing.
I mean, that's tough. You know,
it's a good question, though, Tim.
In terms of still playing, you know, there is times where we miss Trent in terms of his just ability to make something happen out of nothing. Obviously, he leaves under a bit of a cloud, but I think, you know, there's games where you just need that bit of magic, and you need something to take you a goal up in a game. I think as well, you know, Mo Salah would love to sort of have him, you know, in terms of getting more out of him. So even though he's not the most popular man in L4 at the moment, I'll go for Trent.
Go on then, Sarah.
No question, Henderson. Look what he's done going into Brentford. He's a leader. He will give his absolute die on that pitch for Liverpool. Yeah. And we don't have that at the moment, and we're seriously lacking it.
That was what you were going to say, wasn't it?
I would say Jordan Henderson, because of what you said earlier about the mentality and making others better. But I agree with John. You cannot replace quality like Trent Alexander-Arnold. But I think to make the group better, not only for match days, but every day at that training ground, I think Henderson, no stats can tell you what he gives to that squad.
Yeah, and he's flying for Brentford. A quick question to both of you here. Same question. We'll come to you first, Sarah. The poll that we're having on X today is where will Liverpool finish? And there's 4 options: champions, top 4, top half, or bottom half. At the moment, I can tell you that top half has got 44%, top 4, 36%. Sarah, where would you say after those 4 of those 4 options?
We have to be top 4. Nothing else is good enough. We have to be top 4.
I agree.
We have to be.
John?
I love the 5% who are still saying champions. God bless those people. I'm not quite with them, unfortunately. But I think they'll get top four. I think they'll pull it together when it counts. But, you know, it'll be too late for a championship challenge, unfortunately.
Yeah, your next 3 games, by the way, West Ham away, Sunderland at home and Leeds away. So maybe this form will start now. John, Sarah, thank you.